just get an appreciation for kind of her general comfortable posture, right? Not asking her to assume any particular way of just being, but just getting a sense of like, where does her body naturally want to go? And that might give us some insight into where is she maybe sustaining strain or pressures, you know, for big chunks of time, right? So we just kind of take an observation here and we'll see, okay, like how is everything kind of looking? We'll take a look kind of from the front just to see how things are lining up. You'll take a look at the back. You'll have some attention to those thoracic curves that Stephanie talked about in terms of kyphosis, what does the lordosis look like. You're getting a sense of, you know, what's the relationship between the ribs and the pelvis, right? Theoretically, if we are wanting to engage in kind of optimal diaphragmatic movement, we want to have sort of good relationship between these structures, right? And if we are able to sort of, in a habitual way, just naturally engage in breathing that allows for that lateral costal movement and that natural descent of the diaphragm, we're going to, of course, get that automatic reciprocal pumping of the pelvic floor, right? The pelvic floor, of course, is also a subpump muscle, right? So those of us who are kind of spending the day in these postures where our diaphragm can't move, maybe we're braced and we're apically breathing all day, well, one, you know, our diaphragm's not moving, but then it also means we're gonna have some stagnation in the pelvic floor too, right? Because of those two structures. And we, of course, yes, in this case, we're thinking sort of diastasis, but we treat people, right? We don't treat conditions. And if we're seeing someone when they're pregnant, we'll be thinking, well, what are all the other good things that can come from a nice, healthy, well-pumping pelvic floor, right? We have good science to show that births tend to be better when the pelvic floor is conditioned well. We have good science to show that when the pelvic floor is fit, we have less incontinence after. So we're kind of thinking about all of these things, right? So breathing is important, and some of that alignment piece fits into that, right? So you're going to be checking those things. Then you're going to get a sense of just kind of some global movement. So usually the first thing we suggest that you do, just go ahead and cross your arms over your chest and just gently kind of rotate your body to the right and then rotate to the left. And we're just seeing how all that load transfers, how comfortable is that for her, etc. So very general. The next thing we're going to do, you're going to keep your arms crossed and you're just going to do a little bit of a side bend, right? And then come back up, and then the other side. And again, you're just kind of checking how evenly is that distributed. Is she hinging on one side? Does she actually have pain when she does that, right through the pelvic girdle? And then we want to check some of these things again, but take sort of the lower part of the body out of it to get some more insight into the top part of the body. So that's when we might have her set. You're just going to let you take a seat. And you'll repeat those same movements now in sitting, and we'll just kind of see. So rotation first, yeah. Good, and the other way, and then side bending, good, and the other way, and then come back. And sometimes when someone's in a seated position like this, and I'm just explaining what they're going to do, I'll just sort of have my hands here, so I'm quietly assessing what their normal breathing pattern is like without them being aware I'm doing it. So I can get a sense of like, do they actually naturally breathe in a way that they're getting any excursion down here? It's just giving me a little bit more information, right? Because usually as soon as you tell someone you're going to start assessing their breathing, they change their habitual pattern, right? Okay, so that's the